Hello everybody, welcome back to the next part 3 of Scratch's Director's Cut. I wanted to discuss a few things yet while they're fresh in my mind. I have been brightening this game by about 5% brighter, and for audio, hopefully this information will help other people and learn how to do stuff on their own channel. I'm just trying to pass along information, but I found putting the microphone voice narration talking at around -10 decibels in my video editing software, and putting the game around -20 decibels seems to be pretty good. But that seems to work mostly for games that don't have a real soundtrack like this one does play in the background. If it's just little music for boss fights and stuff like that, I think it's good enough. It seems like you need to go a little bit quieter with this game than I really wanted to. So I'm going to look here. And another thing, while I'm explaining that, I realize now that when you load your save is when it loads your settings and options. If you look at these when you first start, like from this screen, if you went into setup before you loaded your game, they would be back to their defaults. So when you load your save game, then these finally change. But as you can see in there, there's no option for adjustment about music or sound effects. So I'm using the video editing to adjust it, but I feel like I need to drop the game's sound down a little more than normal, so it doesn't drown my voice out too much. So I think I'm going to be doing that. I'm not sure if I'm going to put that -20 to -25 or maybe somewhere in between, but hopefully you'll be able to hear me and the game well enough. Okay, so March 4th is where we need to continue in this journal. Finally, I've managed to see them. My God, what a disturbing spectacle. When we arrived, they were moving around in the village very slowly, without speaking or communicating with each other, each minding his or her own business, completely alien to the rest of the world. They were filthy looking, coarse and downright disgusting. I couldn't see any weapons, but they could have been stored somewhere. It was all very strange behavior in a tribe. They must be quite unique. Then, as if they had suddenly all become possessed by some wild spirit, they began shaking spasmodically. Is that a word? I don't think I've seen that before. And screaming like mad. Some of them dropped to their knees and lifted their heads to the sky, eyes blank, and moaning in an indescribable way. 2 of them walked away, still in that monotonous and slow manner, and in great contrast to the rest of the scene, into a shack. The next minute, they brought out into the open an odd-looking mask. Its shapes, colors, and overall looks, while unsettling, were mesmerizing, and I felt instantly hypnotized by it. It rendered my modest collection of African curiosities into a dull and uninteresting items. The mask was very ominous, and the whole tribe seemed to greatly revere it. Soon they began to gather around it and move in circles, fluttering and chanting a guttural psalm. Judging by their emotions and aspect of the whole ritual, it must have been some kind of war ritual. I'm not sure how to explain what happened, as if I feel my pulse is already throbbing. Words fail me to recount the most disturbing thing I've ever witnessed. One of the male villagers walked into the middle, near the mask, by his own will. It was an almost automatic act. All of a sudden, The remaining members became silent. I can't tell for how long it lasted, but I was afraid to breathe. I think Dalby, D-A-L-B-Y, and the others were also scared. They wouldn't even blink. I remember being soaked wet and expectant. The silence was so unnatural. Then a few members separated from the people circling the mask and jumped on the single villager, beating him to death. To be completely faithful to the event, the small crowd tore him apart. They grabbed his legs in 2s and 3s and twisted them in a manner I dare not describe. His face was disfigured, and their bare fingernails and teeth his face was disfigured with their bare fingernails and teeth, and the torso soon disappeared under the frenzied tangle of hands. Damn. In a matter of few minutes, the villager was turned into a dark sack of bones, a red sack of bones. Not one of the attackers had the compassion to snap his neck during this sickening process. All was very methodical, as if it was just another mundane task. The most terrifying aspect, though, was that the victim didn't even cringe. The silence was so deep I could hear his flesh ripping. I would expect any living creature to scream its guts out in such a condition. I can't tell whether he was drugged or half asleep, but I did recognize him dancing like everybody else before walking into the middle of the circle. It was the most outrageous and sadistic sacrifice I'd ever heard of. I don't think I will ever forget what I saw. My intentions of approaching further, if they didn't have any weapons at hand, vanished. Those creatures, I dare not call them human beings, could have killed my whole company in the blink of an eye with their rage. They seemed to be completely out of themselves and willing to destroy anything intruding into their path. While the image of the sacrifice still haunts my thoughts, I still can't seem to forget that mask. It was so deceptive, so deceptively simple and yet perfect in its design. I haven't seen anything like it. Oh, that part of the page is taped or ripped, I guess. I surely would love to take a better look. I feel that Dalimar, dangerous as they are, could be the most important ethical finding in decades. What I've seen today is crying for some further investigation. I just can't leave them like that. I would never forgive myself. And the mask, that mask. I was ecstatic after reading the journal. The material was incredible. Yes, it was. Man, and here I was thinking I wasn't going to have to put a parental warning advisory at the beginning of this game. Now I think I have to. So I'm going to have to add that to the first few videos that I haven't actually edited yet. I forgot how descriptive, I guess, some of these notes are. It was locked. Alright, what's this one say? 2 years in East Africa with a journey to sources of the Nile with numerous illustrations. Okay. Well, good thing I could actually read it because he wasn't going to give me a comment. So we can't read any of those. That was what we just read. Let's see about these drawers. Ah, another one. And we can't pick that one up. We can't even look at any of this. It's just there. You know, I think you have to close the drawer to open another one. More cigars. Ooh, I think that was a screwdriver. A magnifying glass. It looked like a boring tool. When you're in a horror game, a screwdriver becomes your best friend. You always want a screwdriver. That's one of the key items in a good horror game. That was something else I took. Letter that's opened. The envelope was empty. What do you mean it was empty? So you just took an empty envelope. Maybe we can mail something later. What was this? That was his diary. It's my journal. Yeah, left-clicked. This house is amazing, far beyond my wildest dreams. Jerry's efforts have truly exceeded my expectations. I better get acquainted right away. Jerry says the electrician should be on his way to solve the lights problem. I feel relieved. It seems the house is out of power. You can't have everything, I guess. Hopefully it's just a minor glitch. But I should tell Jerry. I'm speechless. I've just read an incredible story about a mysterious African tribe. The personal memories of this James Blackwood person. Even if it isn't true, it's simply terrific material, judging by the stuff I've been seeing around. This Blackwood was really into African culture. Yeah, I don't know that I can't promise I'm always going to remember, but basically every chapter, I guess if the game would tell you when you were actually starting a new chapter so you knew, it could be a reminder, but it doesn't. But when you start each new specific area, if you remember to look at your journal, your character will have written something new down, kind of like an introduction to that chapter. But I may forget to check it. I'm pretty bad about remembering to read journals that you carry. I do it when I play hidden object games as well. I forget to read them. So I can't take that money. A lot of money. I think that's more money. Not sure what those are. So, that is locked. Maybe we can pry it with the screwdriver. That wasn't useful, so I guess we gotta actually find the key for it. So we're kind of limited to what we can do here. But yeah, like even the first mist, you would have to click your cursor to make the screen do the slideshow movement, which I'll show you, because I can't expect everybody has read or watched my Config and Tech video. But if you turn slideshow mode on and go back, then it plays more like classic Myst. The screen doesn't move until your hand turns into that stone, and then when you click it, you go to the next screen. This is how Myst used to play. Look down, look back up to look straight ahead, look up again. So you had to do that. But this game gives you the option. It's more or less a free look, which is nice. I'm gonna make a save while I'm here. It's kind of a free look. So yeah, we have to remember that locked drawer. Nothing else in here I think is really of importance. At the moment anyway. We looked at all the books. I couldn't look at any closer over here because it wouldn't let me. It wants to make me look at the desk. Yeah, it's not letting me actually look at any books, so. Go to the next room. Yeah, here's the dining room. Okay, what do we got? This dude's carrying ducks. More candelabras. Just a mirror. Okay, what do we got? Tablecloths, napkins. That certainly isn't my thing. Nothing of use. There's just some useless junk. Well, I think it's a compact for a woman's powder that she puts on her face or something. And these cool blue and white plates. A generic standard lamp. Still, it was elegant and tasteful. So, what do we got? Here's a tiny picture I can't zoom. I guess that's what happens when you don't water the plants for a long time. Yep. Nothing on the window edges. A couple of beautiful vases made of shiny glass and standing on the table. Yeah, they're nice looking. Is this where the wine's at? Can't open them. Yes. Well, if you'd had that glass, you didn't take it with you. So now you gotta drink from the bottle. I couldn't decide what was more impressive, the incredible collection of books in the study or the amount of booze in the dining room. I'm just gonna click each one here, kind of see if it says anything. None of this stuff, but yeah, he just says the same thing. So, and you just won't even open that. Okay. Sticking it right in his side. Ugh. Brutal. Looks like a church. Okay, I think this is the door that we came out of. Just confirming. No, it is not. Okay, let me go back in here. I just want to get my bearings of what direction that door is. It's this door, which is a double door. These are both single doors. Just confirm it. Is there anything above the door? Nope. So this should be the study. It is. Okay. So to the right leads to that hallway. And this should lead back to the room that has the telephone. Take a sip of drink. You don't realize until you're narrating a bunch of videos for YouTube how dry your mouth can get from all the talking until you do it for a while. I don't even know if we looked at the pictures on this wall. Horses. I wish there was a comment, at least. I wouldn't expect all of them to have something to say, but it would be interesting to hear, at least in text, the dude's thoughts on it. Okay, so now we know where we are. That's the front door, and then we can go upstairs. But let's go over here to this other room that was downstairs, across the table. Okay. So here's another method for going upstairs. There's 2 staircases. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure these are like famous pictures. You can open it. Close it. Several vases of African craftsmanship are standing against the west window. There's just an ordinary vase. I didn't see any reason to bother with it. creepy how the music just all of a sudden comes in. I think there's something important here. Maybe just not yet. Because otherwise, why would it let us shine light in here? It would just not let us open the curtain at all. Sewing something. Two kids got some grapes, and is that cheese or is it bread? I don't know. Looks like he's in a prison cell or something. Looking out the little window outside. Nothing. Nothing. I've seen this picture before. I don't know, like, what happened to that dude. He's like, he looks like he's ragdolling on the ground. I don't know if he's like passed out or dead or... It's like they're making crop circles to me. Okay, can we open it? The drawer was stuck beyond hope. Well, what about your screwdriver? That wasn't useful. Air extender lamp, blah blah blah, same thing. Cool picture. I thought you could get in here. But usually when you get a message like that, you can make a real save. You can save your game at any time. It's just a good idea to make saves. I'm going to do a hard save. And then I'm going to do a quick save. Should I press the wrong button? There's a menu button. There, I got quick save and a hard save. So far I haven't had any problems with the game. It's that was for my Soldier Blade speedrun. I use that as a timer for my speedruns. But here's my other thing that shows my actual numbers. So I mean, obviously I'm getting 60 FPS in this game. But I'm not having any trouble with it yet. It hasn't crashed on me. Obviously my readings are good, as it shows. Okay, so it looks like there's another door on this first floor. Let's try to go there. And then we will try to... I'm just going floor by floor. 2 floors in the basement, so I might as well just start with the first. Is that even a door handle? It just looked like a button. Okay, now we're in the kitchen. Yeah, it is a door handle, I guess. It's a very large door handle. Okay, what about the lights? Just in case, no. A key holder, except there weren't any keys hanging from it. That's no good. Just an ordinary little table underneath the key holder. Okay. Well. Can we open these? There's no door handle. Apparently not. Step. We'll look on this side first, whatever. Doesn't matter. I need to scoot back over to the left so we can look at some stuff there. There are plenty of kitchen utensils in the house ready to be used. Okay, scoot over and then we'll turn and look at this side. There we go. Plenty of kitchen utensils. There's no point in me reading the same thing if he's not going to say anything new. About here, what do we got? The door to the oven was firmly stuck in place. Still going to try to pry it. If that wasn't useful, eventually we'll find out what that is. A Phillips or a flathead? Just a boring tool. It's a screwdriver. So, interesting. Step over here. Apparently the water wasn't running. Great, so we don't have water either. No electricity and no water. These are openable. Ooh. Nice. I was carefully holding a sharp butcher's knife. Just put that in my front right pocket. So, got a knife. That can definitely pry some more things open or cut stuff. So literally nothing in here, I guess. Nothing inside. Nothing on the sides of the doors. We got a knife though, so that's pretty sweet. I think there's some stuff on the table. The grinder was open and waiting for anything to be tossed inside to test its blades. It was a nice, rustic, old-fashioned grinder. Well, we don't have anything to grind right at the moment. If I want to grind something up, well, you can open the drawer. I'll have to remember it's here, right? I mean, that couldn't quite possibly come into use, you know, any point in the future, I'm sure. What do you got to eat? The interior of the refrigerator was begging for some serious cleaning, not to mention a powerful disinfectant. Gross. Looks like literally like bones just laying there on a plate. Huh. Is the bottom of this thing open? Yeah, I can't see the bottom this way. It's not letting me click anywhere, so I guess not. I don't recall there ever being a use for the fridge. Let's see what's in here. Okay, we're in a new room here. Okay. Got no power. One of these stand-up mirrors. Oh, there's a picture. Okay. The bed in this room was miserable looking. Yeah, it looks pretty rough. Okay, we can open it. Practical photography, class and paper, a manual, portraits, views by the Agency of Light, stereoscopic pictures, London, published by bland and long opticals. Can't read it, just read the title. Guess that's all that's here. This is the mirror. Point at this rug. Alright guys, I'm going to stop the video here. Hit our 30-minute mark that I've been trying to make most videos. I feel it's a pretty good length of time. So we're going to end this here, and then when we come back in the next part, we'll continue searching this room, see what else we can find. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.